Welcome back to Focus on Connecticut. We have so many thoughts in our heads. We're trying to hang on to all of them. So the Education Committee says, no, we're not going to deal with tenure this year. We're going to ask UConn to evaluate how best to approach this. So the governor may get what he wants. He may still get the tenure issue dealt with this year. It's not over yet.
That's right. Now the budget, even though the Appropriations Committee has passed it out of its committee, our committee, it now goes back to the governor's office and the leadership in both parties, and the governor sits down with his commissioners and works through the budget. And I will say too, Stephen Pryor, who's the new Commissioner of Education, is terrific. Very talented man, great ideas, willing to listen to all the arguments, and I think we have a real gem in him. And back to what Kim said, I would agree with that I think the teacher tenure, the discussion got focused on that. And our kids went all through public school. And I can count on one hand, we had, count them, 150 teachers. I can count on one hand the teachers that maybe shouldn't have been teaching. There are so many outstanding teachers. I think the dialogue was good, but I think it was wrong to pinpoint that as the problem when there's so many other issues in these failing school districts.
Or that you could possibly just somehow invest in teachers or be harder on teachers and their tenure and their certification, and then magically lift kids up who are struggling. It may be one piece of the conversation going forward, but there has to be a much broader conversation about a true education
reform. How does this happen? These people who are formulating the governor and his staff are bright people. They know what they have a plan. They're coming out of the gate for this year, and they say education's what we want, and we have changes we want to make, and they go right for the unions. The governor makes nasty comments about the unions, about teachers. That had to be intended. It's not just something off the cuff.
He's the guy you have to ask.
Defer.
Well, but I imagine you're all standing out in the hallways there at the Capitol saying, "What's going on? Why is he?" Was it so that we'll all focus on this, and then was it all planned? You pull back.
That would be an incredible strategy, wouldn't it?
I think he's just very direct. As he says, "Let me be very clear."
And we're all public figures, and obviously to a lesser extent than the governor, Terry and I, but you're in public a lot and you're saying comments a lot, and I can't tell you how often things I have said have been taken out of context, and it's just very possible that the governor was trying to deliver an impassioned message, and clearly his words instigated a lot of emotion in the teachers, but I'm not sure that's what he meant. I think he very much respects teachers, and I think he delivered a message at that point in time that may have been misdelivered. I didn't mean to just apologize for him, but I just did.
That's a point of view, but he's also a seasoned politician and a strategist with public message. So I would imagine that he knew what he was doing. He's a big boy.
Quinnipiac poll
yes.
last week, I think it was, found that the public is very much behind public school teachers.
Yes.
Very high on them, a lot higher than they are on politicians and news people, but not on the unions. They're down on the unions. So there is this feeling now, well, the union got to the lawmakers. There were these meetings behind closed doors, off-site meetings. They weren't even in the Capitol.
Right. And
now look what's happened.
They also did not include the minority party.
Which is not
fair. It's not right. It's
but
not right.
That happens
Given
a lot.
that we represent a good number of constituents.
I often think it's unfortunate because I experience a disconnect between the union's representation in the Capitol, the teachers' union representation of the teachers, and what the actual teachers in my schools that I talk to, that are my neighbors, what they actually hear and know about what's going on. I feel like sometimes very frustrated because I'm not sure that the union does the best job of representing the voice, the true voice of the teachers in the classroom. And I don't always think that the teachers in the classroom know that. It's very frustrating that there feels like a disconnect. And that was experienced through this past 6 weeks because I really had to get into a classroom and sit with teachers and talk them through because they had been given in some instances, really maybe inaccurate information about the process and about what this reform proposal was going to look like.
I'm going to take another break. When we come back, let's go back to appropriations.
Good.
And some of the things you dealt with. Back in just a second. Stay with us.